Okay, I didn't post about this one, but I did mention it in the last video that I might throw in an extra one for Easter. So I'm going to attempt to draw a bunny rabbit with you, one that I've seen in different things, advertisements or like artwork fun things that people color. And anyway, so I'm going to try this one. So the first thing we're going to do, now I got to remember, we're going to draw a jelly bean shape. I'm kind of going to sketch it out a little bit above center, and my paper's going portrait, not landscape, but portrait. It's a little bit above the center of my paper, like it's probably sitting on the center line, and then the body of the jelly bean is up above. So it's kind of a jelly bean shape. And then I'm going to add a circle, and I'm going to have them overlap a little bit. And I want the circle to be wider here, the width of it to be bigger than the jelly bean. So just a little bit wider. You don't have to get too dramatic. And don't worry if you're sketching it out like I am. You know, this is how I like to sketch out to get my symmetry right, instead of just going around in a full circle, because it usually doesn't end up quite as cylindrical that I want it to look. So so sketching it out, and a bunny rabbit is hairy, so you know, don't worry about it. Remember to draw lighter than I am. I'm drawing darker so you can see it, but always draw light so you know it's right. So we got our jelly bean shape, then we have our overlapping, slightly wider circle. Doesn't have to be a perfect circle. Then I'm going to do one more bigger circle. Actually, I don't have enough room, and that's okay. I'm just going to pretend it goes off the page here because we don't need a full circle anyway. This one's going to overlap as well, and it's a little bit wider here than your first circle, okay? So it's almost like we're making this weird shaped snowman. Okay, now I'm going to, let me think, to look at my first one I drew. Okay, we're going to add the ears. And so the bunny ears, I want you to just do kind of a rounded V right there. Make it a little darker so you can see it. And then we're going to go up and kind of curve, come to somewhat of a point, but not really. Come down. And then I want you to give it a little bump right here, a little push out, boop, and connect. And we're going to do the same thing on this other side. Go up. You guys know what a bunny ear looks like. Come down, and then same thing, I want a little bump out right there. Boop, see the little bump outs? Okay. Then just below that, I'm gonna go in and do an oval. He's looking kinda, on both sides, looking kinda scary right now. I could probably make that a little bigger. Make that a little bigger. Clean them up a little bit so you don't just see a bunch of squiggly lines. And before I go on from that, I'm going to go ahead and add the inside of my ears. So I'm going to draw a line that comes up, almost touches right here, but doesn't quite. There's still a little space in between, and it just follows that shape, comes back down, and connects. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. Comes up, doesn't quite touch, gets close but doesn't, and comes down and connects. Now before we go any further, we're going to erase some lines. So I want to erase, whoops, I'm using just printer paper, so again, it might wrinkle on me, I apologize. I'm going to erase the line that connects the ears to this part of the head. So these two lines here. Then I'm going to come down and I'm going to erase both of these two lines, the bottom of the jelly bean shape and the top of the middle circle shape. So I want those to go away. Then I'm going to come down and I'm going to erase these two lines that connect the middle circle from the bottom circle. And again, if your bottom circle right here, if you have a full circle, you want to cut it off about halfway down, or just have it disappear off the page, even better, okay? Because we're going to change that shape anyway, so it doesn't need to really be a circle. I just wanted to get a basic outside line shape for you in. We're using those guidelines, basic geometric shapes to get our finished product again. Okay, so now I'm going to go up here and I'm going to add a little detail into his eyes. So I got my eye shape. I want it to kind of have a little bit of a funny squiggly line right there, cutting that eye in half almost. A little squiggly line on this side, doing the same thing. You guys see that okay? And I'm gonna do some eyelashes. You've got some really pretty eyelashes. They're pointing up and out and down and out. Down and out, up and out. Just a few on the corners, just like that. Then I'm going to, let me think, what am I gonna do next? I'm gonna come down into this area. Okay, down here you're gonna add a half, or not a half circle, a slightly arched out line on both sides. And this is in that middle circle. And it's in the bottom half of it. And it's not touching the sides of it at all or anything. It's just kind of floating in the middle. It probably has about 2.5 inches in between it. So if you really want to get specific, I can even pull this over. No, it's about not quite 2 inches. Okay. Now we have those 2 lines. Just above where those lines stop, I'm gonna put in kind of a rounded V, a line coming down, and a upside down V that's rounded. And then I'm gonna add a line right here, and I'm gonna add some nostrils here, but we'll get more detailed in that in just a second. I'm gonna bring these lines out and have them turn a little bit and come up. Okay. Now I'm going to kind of define the outside edges of his face real quick. So we have this little bump that came out. We want to keep that and bring it into the eye. The eye is the only thing that's going to stick out right here. So just below the eye, actually probably about right there, yeah, we're going to now connect that line. So you're going to kind of lose this original line right here that was part of your original upper jelly bean, and I'm going to erase it and get rid of it. Then I'm gonna bump out this side right here. Here's the eye, and at the bottom of the eye, I'm gonna do the same thing and bring that line in and connect to the bottom and get rid of that little bumped out line from the original jelly bean. And then down here, I'm gonna outline this line, make it a little darker, and just have it kind of stop, just kind of curves outward and down, and stops. Okay, now let's add some whiskers in. And I always like odd numbers, so I'm going to do 3 whiskers. And then up here, I'm going to add right above his eye, right here, but underneath that little spot that bumped out, I'm going to add a line that stops. So same thing on this side, above his eye, I'm going to add a line that comes over and stops. Just kind of trying to define those ears a little bit more. I'm also going to put a line in here and a line in here. Okay. Now, before I go any further, I need to see if I missed anything. Am I forgetting anything on my bunny? I got the bunny mouth, got the little bunny nostrils, little funny shaped bunny nose. Okay. Okay. You could add a little bit of fur right here on his little bunny chest. I'm going to add one more thing. You don't have to add this. I just always think it's cute when I see bunnies with glasses. So I'm going to add a straight line over, coming just past his eye. So it's past the bunny, and goes from a straight line, it goes across and stops right about in line with that side of that V of his ear. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Then I'm going to make a big U, and stop. Make a big U, and stop. Notice I didn't touch these edges. I left a little gap right there. So I'm going to make this bump up like that. Now I'm going to go and, I think I did this wrong, but I'll make it work. I'm going to follow that line again and stop. And then I'm going to follow that line and stop. And I didn't touch that one. Going around, and then make another line. So if you want, you could probably add a line right here on top. You could have left that just a single line. I kind of like it with that line. So now I'm going to outline him in Sharpie so you can see what he looks like finished, and you don't have to add glasses to him. His glasses are a little crooked. He's funny. Okay. All right, so I think I'm going to outline the actual glasses first because they sit on top of the eye, and I'm afraid it will confuse me because it was already confusing me just trying the glasses on the bunny. That's all right. There's always a way to fix it. That's one thing I like about art. You just got to think it through. And then if all else fails, you just color it, and then it looks fantastic. Okay, so now I'm going to color that. I'm going to outline my little bump out right there of his ear. Come up, follow that outside line. Come down. Outside line of his ear, come down. There's my little bump out. I'm going to do the inside of his ear now. And I might not perfectly be following my original pencil lines. You guys, you know, can do this more slowly and follow those lines much better than I am. I really messed up right here. I'll show you my other one. He's cuter. Okay, and then I'm going to draw a line right, that little line right there. Put that back in. Then I want to add his eyes. Remember, you don't want to go over the glasses. So if you did put glasses in, you're not going to want to go over that glass. You're going to want to stay like, because it's behind the frame. And then I'm going to color in his eye. And then I'm going to put his eyelashes in, and they're going to come behind the glass. And these are underneath, so that's okay. These are going to come behind. Okay, then I'm going to add those little lines back in right here of his defining his eye bone, and then I'm going to bring this down and disappears off the edge, or stops before the edge. I'm actually not having it disappear off the edge. I'm just stopping. I'm stopping it right there. Okay. Now I'm going to put in his nose. Draw the line. Fill in his mouth. Put in his little cute little chubby cheeks. His 3 whiskers. And some of that hair. And voila! A bunny with glasses. Not bad for trying to figure it out by myself. Hope you guys had fun with it. Here's my other one that I tried before I posted that one. I think he turned out kind of cute. Now I just need to color him with some crayons or markers, and he's my Easter bunny with glasses. So I hope you guys have a great Easter, and we'll see you next week. Bye!